Okay, good idea. Okay, I'm in a chair.
On behalf of our family, we'd like to welcome you today. It's a sad day, but it's also a day of remembering, reflecting, rejoicing. There will be tears and there may be some joy as we talk about this beautiful lady, Jodie, who's been very much a part of our world. My name's Chrissy Walter, by the way. I'm the school chaplain at Cranbrook State School, otherwise known as Chappie. So today I'm your Chappie. Before we start, I'd really love to say the Lord's Prayer. So if you feel to say that along with me, you are very welcome. If not, be patient with me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I believe Jodie's mum and dad selected this poem, is that correct? And the poem is called She Is Gone. But the words are very, very special. So please just take these words in. You can shed tears that she is gone, or you can smile because she has lived. You can close your eyes and pray that she will come back, or you can open your eyes and see all that she has left. Your heart can be empty because you cannot see her, or you can be full of love that you shared. You can turn back on tomorrow and live yesterday, or you can be happy for tomorrow because of yesterday. You can remember her and only that she is gone, or you can cherish her memory and let it live on. You can cry and close your mind, be empty and turn your back, or you can do what she would want, what Jodie would want. Smile, open your eyes, love, and go on. And that is a really special poem. I have the privilege today to read Jodie's eulogy, and the thing that I have observed most is the love that is in this family. Everybody has come together and just supporting each other, and the love in this room is very evident. So remember, we're on a journey together today of people who have loved a very special lady. So Jodie was born in Kingaroy, Queensland on the 21st of September 1968. She was the eldest daughter of Frizzy and Jan Larkin. She had 3 siblings, Julie, Sharon and Robert. She first attended school at Maluga. This was followed by Elliot Heads, then Moonford, and finally back to Elliot Heads, where she finished her primary school years. Jodie then attended Kepnock High School in Bundaberg, where she finished high school in year 10, as was the norm for many of people in those days. Jodie began her work life as a 13-year-old in the local kiosk and post office at Elliot Heads, and an enduring memory was that she lost her first pay packet on the way home and was absolutely distraught. Jodie was adept at intercepting letters from the school to her parents, advising them of any wagging that she did for all her siblings, one of which had perfected her mother's signature. Ah, and there she is. We have the culprit. This managed to keep them out of trouble without Mum and Dad finding out. Jodie then started work at Lady Elliot Island in the kitchen where she stayed, while Lenny courted her via snail mail, and many letters were exchanged as they both worked away. Lenny still has those letters, and while we would love to share these, I've been told that they're probably not suitable for public consumption. Naughty Lenny. When Jodie's parents purchased their first home in Elliot Heads, Jodie's dad had to renovate. And while this was happening, the girls had to sleep in the caravan in the backyard. This allowed, wait for it, that Maluga boy, as Jodie's mum called him, to sneak in and out before the sunrise, always thinking that he'd gotten away with it. Jodie used to use her sister, Julie, there she is again, into the house so that they could be alone together. Years later, Jan asked if they really thought her and her dad didn't know what was really going on. So busted, you were busted, Lenny. Jodie then moved to Gin Gin, where she started as the camp cook for Lenny's tordening gang. I had to ask that question, didn't I, Lenny? I said, what is tordening? For those of you who do not know, it is a chemical that was used for eradicating unwanted vegetation, hence tordening gang. And they spent weeks camped in the bush with up to 20 blokes. So Jodie was there with her beloved Lenny, 20 blokes. She was preparing the meals on campfires and living in the tents. You see, they were just hippies way back then. They were living off the grid before it became popular. After putting up with this for about a year, Jodie then began working at the Gin Gin Hotel, where she worked for 13 years. Jodie was well loved by locals, and working in a small country pub knew every person in town and was always the favourite bartender. Their lifelong relationship began, this is Lenny and Jodie, in 1987, and they took 7 long years to become engaged and another 6 years to be married. It was a marriage of the millennium of February the 5th, 2000, and it was known as the wedding of the year in Gin Gin. Is that right, Lenny? Yes. During her time in Gin Gin, Jodie was very community-minded and was involved with the Gin Gin Touch Footy Club and the Rugby League Club, where she was the secretary for many years. And she was awarded Club Person of the Year in 2000. Jodie was an active touch footy player and represented Bundaberg as a teenager until she hurt her knee, which then troubled her for the rest of her life. She managed to win a couple of Division 1 premierships in the Gin Gin until finally doing her knee again, which ended her touch career. Jodie then moved to Townsville in 2001 when Lenny began working in the mining industry. After trying for many years to have children and being told they could not have children, Jodie unexpectedly fell pregnant in 2003, and on the 11th of March 2004, Connor was born. And this was followed by Jackson on the 26th of February 2007. Jodie adored her boys, and they were the light of her life. And Jodie would always say to her boys that she loved them to the moon and back. And she's still saying that. She still loves you to the moon and back, boys. She was always so proud of their achievements and spent every afternoon running them around town for training, games, and any other activities that they were involved in. And she would be so proud of you guys. Know that. After taking time off from her job at the Shell Servo to stay home with the children, Jodie began volunteering at Cranbrook State School. where she eventually was offered a part-time job as teacher's aide. This became a huge part of her life, and this is where she and Amanda Eiley, Ashby and Bosie became besties. Doesn't that sound like a wild outfit, just hearing those? These girls have been her rock, and they always had many girls' nights out with the rest of the crew from school, and Lenny often teased her about never inviting him along. And I found an interesting little story about Jodie. So imagine this, the girls are out on the town. Jodie she was given a name called the Dancing Queen because she loved dancing. Mum's nodding, she knows this. But she danced so much that Amanda Eiley was so tired and fell asleep because Jodie wouldn't get off the dance floor. She was just a little groover. So working at school, and you will hear a little bit more about school, but these are just some very cute words from a teacher, and I just would love to share them with you. As a teacher's aide, Jodie was quite simply magic. She was the kind of magic that made children believe in themselves, in their ability to read and make meaning from jumble of words written on a page. Jodie genuinely loved working with her kids and revelled in the progress they made, no matter how much progress. Baby steps, she would always say. I can see her walking back into my room, nudging a student forward to tell me what level text they had just read, and her smile was bigger than theirs. She was proud of their achievement. And I know there's other family members who have some really beautiful stories. I know that Jodie used to make birthday cakes for Michaela. Is that right? On Michaela's birthday, Jodie always baked a cake with her, and they had some disasters, I believe, including a failed butterfly cake, which morphed into butterfly cupcakes. Don't you love it? Adapt and overcome. Sounds like Jodie. We've learned a lot about Jodie. We've learnt that I think she has a criminal record because she interfered with Australia Post Mail. She was a bit of a party animal with those girls, but she was so loved. She was a beautiful, beautiful lady, full of love. Everybody loved her. So I would now like to invite Robert Lakin. Did I get the name right originally? Lakin. Sorry about that.
Yeah, right.
There you go, I'll stand aside.
Firstly, on behalf of Jodie's immediate family, we'd like to thank each and every one for coming, celebrating her life today. Two ways was the rock in our family, the one we always went to for advice. And more often than not, she was the voice of reason. Yeah, right. She was always there for us, and we are going to miss her deeply, as she meant so much to each and every one of us. Not reading that.
Sorry.
We all love you, Jodie, and even though you're not here right now, you'll always be with us in our hearts forever. Love you to the moon and back.
Thank you, Robert. Robert, what a special thing for Jodie to have her brother, her big brother. And now I'd like to invite up Amanda Eiley, who is one of those girls we just heard about, but a very good friend. So here she is.
This is a lot easier when you're in front of a class full of children. Just bear with me. Hello everyone, my name's Amanda Eiley, as Chappie's already introduced me, or just Eiley, as Jodie would say. Jodie and I began working together at Cranbrook in 2009 as teacher aides in prep, before securing further contracts as intervention aides and working with the children to help improve their reading abilities. Jodie and I worked alongside each other doing exactly the same job, but in all honesty, I was always amazed with Jodie's ability to teach me, as well as the children, new ways to learn all of the time. Jodie was so passionate about her work, and the children that worked with her always flourished. I myself found a new passion and began working with children with special needs. Jodie would always say to me, "You're so strong, Eiley. I'm not sure I could do that job." And my reply would always be, "Jodie, you would be great at anything you do because you have a strong love for the children and for your job." Our friendship grew stronger year by year, celebrating family events, camping trips, or just nights out with all us girls. No matter what we were doing, we were always having fun. Jodie was a believer. She had faith in everything that anyone done or tried to do, even when they didn't believe in themselves. I know over the last few years I developed my love for fitness again. Not this year, COVID got the better of me. But no matter what, if I was competing in a triathlon or just going for a run, she was always there cheering me on. She was my own personal cheer squad. She believed in me more than I believed in myself most of the time. Just recently, I needed to upgrade my licence to drive our new school bus. And yes, you guessed it, she was there. She was the one cheering me on again. Jodie always believed in me. She would tell everyone my achievements and tell everyone I was so strong. So when I was asked by Jodie's sister to pick a poem for my best friend, I found it hard to choose one. How do you explain your best friend in someone else's words? So Jodie, this is my last chance to be strong for you one last time. My bestie, as I stop and count my blessings, there's one thing that rings true. I'll always be grateful for the friend I found in you. Grateful for the special times we've shared throughout the years, times that brought us closer through our laughter and our tears. We knew each other's secrets, we shared our hopes and dreams. We held each other upright on the nights we drank Jim Beam. We actually hated Jim Beam. We liked Jack Daniels. I just couldn't rhyme anything with Jack Daniels. And Jodie, in you I found a friend who knew everything that I felt. You knew my every weakness and the problems I was dealt. Not once did you interrupt me or tell me I was wrong. Instead, you would sit and listen and tell me I was so strong. Your heart was full of kindness and you believed in everyone. Not many people have that gift, Jodie, but you, my friend, you were a special one. I will not say goodbye, my friend, because I know it's not the end. Our paths will cross again someday, but until then, it's cheers to you, my best friend. Thank you, everyone. Sorry.
Thanks, Amanda. That was so beautiful, and that was a poem from the heart. I'd now like to introduce Jeff Capel and Nicole Lindrum. Jeff is our principal, and Nicole Lindrum is our cohort leader for Year 1 and worked very closely with Jodie.
Our school community welcomed Jodie to the staff fray on the 16th of February 2010 as a casual teacher aide working 2 hours a day on a Tuesday and a Thursday. She, of course, was already part of our school community along with Lenny when they enrolled Connor in January 2009, and from all reports was a familiar face around the school, regularly volunteering and helping out whenever she could. Living across the road from the school certainly helped. When she said she could pop over and give a helping hand. With the enrolment of Jackson in 2012 at Cranbrook State School, Jodie was able to pop over a bit more regularly, and our school took advantage of the opportunity to have Jodie around more. Jodie started her teacher aide career working with the prep students on a casual basis, but her gift was identified and taken advantage of by our school not soon after. As Nelson Mandela stated, what counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived, it is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Jodie's significance as an employee and colleague was her gift to help students read. The difference she has made in helping over 4,000 students be successful at reading should not be underestimated and will certainly not be forgotten. Providing each and every one of these students with the gift of being able to read has set them up for a successful life during and after school. This is a true achievement and legacy that not only the school values and remembers, but also each one of those 4,000 students who are grateful for the care, attention and determination that Jodie demonstrated every single day.
I have had the pleasure of not only being a close colleague, but a friend of Jodie's for 3 years. We worked together as part of Cranbrook State School Reading Intervention Team, and then together during 2020 in the Year 1 cohort. This meant that Jodie and I could continue our strong partnership in achieving the shared goal that every student could succeed in reading. Together we overcame the challenge of working closely with 3 other teachers in a new team, and instilling in others the motivation and passion that we both held for reading. I can only speak highly of Jodie's work ethic, professionalism and devotion. She was level-headed, she was rational. She didn't do things just because. There had to be a very good reason. But if she believed in that reason, she would take on new practices wholeheartedly and make them her own. She was the litmus test. She was honest but not brutal. As a colleague, Jodie was a vault. A lot of staff members confided in her and she could be trusted. She was a great team member because she held teams together. When Jodie fell ill, she sent our team a message apologising for being sick and letting us down. Of course, this is far from the truth. We loved Jodie and valued her contribution to our team. Even though I might have read every theory there is on reading, it was Jodie who implemented it day in and day out. Jodie had a very deep understanding of how children learn to read. She was intuitive when it came to determining a student's needs and then implementing the exact plan to cater for those needs. I had every faith that I could trust her judgment when it came to this process. Jodie's passion for seeing children succeed was continued outside school life as well. She would always visit Friday and fill her lunch bag with rewards to give out every Friday. These weren't just a random collection of rewards, but a representation of how well she knew each and every individual student. Friday was always known as Prize Day, the day that everyone looked forward to, not just the students but also the teachers. This was the day that we heard the amazing stories of the difference Jodie had made in just a week of working with these children. She saw each and every one of these students as her own treasures. And while the prizes and stickers were the students' rewards, Jodie's reward was the smiles on their faces, the voices beaming with pride when they spoke of their achievement, and the excitement of showing friends and families the reward that they cherished. When the students were asked who gave you that, they would always speak with gratitude that it was Mrs. Maluga. Jodie's excitement around student success was infectious. She inspired everyone by showing us what could be done. Jodie was the expert reading teacher aide. Whenever new teacher aides would start, the first step of training would be to shadow Jodie. Mrs. Maluga, or Mrs. Laluga as the kids called her, because they often initially struggled with her name, was an amazing teacher aide. I had often suggested that she become a teacher, but she didn't want to deal with all the extra stuff that teachers do. She just wanted to work with kids, and that she did. Jodie did not waste any time. She would be in early and work through lunch breaks. She would go to the library and get the books for the teachers. When you work with 6-year-olds, you often hear some funny stuff. One boy was influenced by Jodie in more ways than one. He came into the classroom hot and sweaty from lunch and said dramatically, "I'm having a hot flush." Jodie said to his teacher, "What, are you teaching a 50-year-old woman?" Then she quickly realised that he'd overheard her saying it and said, "Oh no, what's his mother going to say?" It's things like this that we will miss most about working with Jodie. Her wicked sense of humour, the chats about our lives, the love she had for her amazing husband Lenny, and how proud she was of her boys Connor and Jackson. We will miss her words of encouragement, her hugs, and her dedication to her school, her team and her kids.
While we may be closing a chapter today, there will be many more chapters to come in the legacy created by Jodie for those 4,000 students who can now read.
Thank you, Jeff and Nicole. That's Jodie. That's what she did. On Friday, no, not Friday, on Wednesday, which was our last day of school, very confusing this week, a little girl came up to me and she was from grade 1 and she gave me this painting and I felt very honoured. And then the more I looked at it, I'm going, hang on a minute, I think that was for Mrs. Maluga. And so I think this painting is so, look at this, wearing purple, rainbows. So out of the mouths of babes, paintings can be such a beautiful, I'll give that to someone because it's so special. And that came with me today very deliberately because I think I needed that. So, today we've heard the journey of a beautiful lady. A bit of a ratbag lady, I might add. But we have her beautiful mum and dad here. We have her beautiful mum and dad-in-law. We have her hubby and her boys and her brother and sisters. And I think Jodie would say to you, live your life and live it well. And laugh a lot and smile. Grieving takes time. Be patient in that grieving. It takes time. Everybody's different. And can I just share another funny little thing? I've had staff members say during the weeks, couple of weeks, in the last few days, little things have been happening to them. And I had gone into my room, which is down in the resource room, and outside on the footpath was this little star. And that little star just kind of was my little encouragement to go, it's okay. She's all good. We're now going to do a pictorial reflection of Jodie. So sit back, enjoy, because this is the life of a beautiful lady. So look at these they've been specially picked by family. We hear that it was hard to get some, wasn't it? Because she used to hide from cameras, but she hasn't got away with it today because we've got some beautiful photos. So please sit and enjoy.
When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet, will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. And I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand. Well, me, I fall in love with you every single day. And I just wanna tell you I am. So honey, now take me into your loving arms. Kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud. when my hair's all but gone and my memory fades, and the crowds don't remember my name, when my hands don't play the strings the same way. I know you will still love me the same, 'cause honey, your soul could never grow old, it's evergreen. And baby, your smile's forever in my mind and memory. I'm thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways, and maybe it's all part of a plan. Well, I'll just keep on making the same mistakes, hoping that you'll understand. But baby, now take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars, place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. So baby, now take me into your loving arms, kiss me under the light of 1,000 stars. Oh darling, place your head on my beating heart. I'm thinking out loud that maybe we found love right where we are. Or maybe we found love right where we are. And we found love right where we are.
I gotta know right now, before we go any further, do you love me? Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you never leave me? Will you make me so happy for the rest of my life? Will you take me away? Will you make me your wife? Do you love me? Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you never leave me? Will you make me so happy for the rest of my life? Will you take me away? Will you make me your wife? I gotta know right now, before we go any further. Do you love me? Will you love me forever?
Let me sleep on it, baby, baby, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it, I'll give you an answer in the morning. Let me sleep on it, baby, baby, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it, I'll give you an answer in the morning. Let me sleep on it, baby, baby, let me sleep on it. Let me sleep on it, I'll give you an answer in the morning.
I gotta know right now, do you love me? Will you love me forever? Do you need me? Will you never leave me? Will you make me so happy for the rest of my life? Will you take me away? Will you make me your wife? I gotta know right now, before we go any further. Do you love me? Will you love me forever? What's it gonna be, boy? Come on, I can wait all night. What's it gonna be, boy? Yes or no? What's it gonna be, boy? Yes or no?
Let me sleep on it, baby, baby, let me sleep on it. Well, let me sleep on it, I'll give you an answer in the morning.
I gotta know right now, do
Let me
you
sleep
love
on
me?
it,
Will you love me
baby,
forever?
baby,
Do
let me
you
sleep
need
on
me?
it.
Will you never leave me?
Let
Will
me
you
sleep
make me so
on it.
happy
sleep on it.
Will you love me forever?
Let me sleep on it.
Will you love me forever?
I couldn't take it any longer. Lord, I was crazy when the feeling came up on me like a tidal wave. Started swearing to my God and on my mother's grave that I would love you till the end of time. I swore I would love you till the end of time. So now I'm praying for the end of time to hurry up and arrive. 'Cause if I gotta spend another minute with you, I don't think that I can really survive. I'll never break my promise or forget my vow, but God only knows what I can do right now. I'm praying for the end of time, that's all that I can do. Praying for the end of time so I can end my time with you.
I found a love for me. Well, darling, just dive right in. Follow my lead. Well, I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. Well, I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just kids when we fell in love, not knowing what it was. I will not give you up this time. Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is all I own, and in your eyes you're holding mine. Baby, I'm dancing in the dark with you between my arms, barefoot on the grass. We're listening to our favorite song. When you said you looked a mess, I whispered underneath my breath, but you heard it. Darling, you look perfect tonight. Well, I found a woman stronger than anyone I know. She shares my dreams. I hope that someday I'll share her home. I found a love to carry more than just my secrets, to carry love, to carry children of our own. We are still kids, but we're so in love, fighting against all odds. I know we'll be alright this time. Darling, just hold my hand, be my girl, I'll be your man. I see my future
Well done to the family. As we finish, I'd love to just pray for you, if that's okay. So if we could just bow our heads and just as a sign of respect. But it is my prayer for all of you, particularly the family, that you remember, reflect, rejoice, cry, and celebrate our beloved Jodie's life. Her story has been a love story. And may God of creation give you peace and strength to live life as Jodie would have wanted you to do. Amen. Now that concludes the end of our service. I just wanted to give you a little bit of information before we go out. So we have, I believe, a very strong basketball connection here at the Cannons, and we have a school connection here. And we believe that they will be forming a guard of honour. Now this will happen outside when the hearse, when Jodie's been taken onto the hearse. So we'd just like those representatives to maybe get your people lined up and ready. Lenny has expressed that he would like anybody, once those people are in place, he would like anybody to line up. Is that correct, Lenny? It's for everybody. If you feel like you would like to stand and just honour Jodie as she goes off. Also, there is a wake at Cranbrook State School for those of you who would like to attend. And there will be some beautiful displays that the children had done for Jodie in particular, for just of Jodie and what they loved about her, I guess. And I believe there's a table there where you have an opportunity to draw or write what you need to say to her. So, family, I know you've got a lot of love, and that will support you and get you through. And we thank you for a life well lived, Jodie. We love you. And she would say, continue to live your life and enjoy every bit of it. Thank you, everybody.